All right, what do we have for
Oh, we're on?
left, middle, and right? This is the segment where we combine politics and real estate. It's what every real estate entrepreneur and professional needs to know about what's happening in their politics. We've got two headlines. Nicole,
Yep.
what are they?
All right. So the first one is Fox Business. Social Security COLA update coming this week, and it could be
Yeah,
huge.
this is cost of living update. And because of inflation now, they're saying that this is going to be this Social Security COLA update is going to be amongst the biggest of all time, maybe one that we've never seen before. And so I just want to how does this impact you in your market when you're going and looking for listings and buyers and investors? I want to remind you where the money is. I was saying this even 2 years ago when COVID was hit and everybody's like, oh my gosh, the millennial buyer, there's so many of them. And granted, that's the biggest pool of buyers. But if you want to increase your price point, if you want to work with people in your community that actually have money, and if you want to, over the next 18 months, work with the people that are going to be doing real estate deals because it doesn't impact them at all, what's happening in this economy, you want to work with baby boomers. All right. I'm going to read you a couple numbers here, Nicole.
Okay.
$71 trillion in asset is owned by boomers. 71 trillion in assets boomers control. That's only 76.4 million people. 76.4 million people are controlling 1/7 of the world's total assets. The baby boomers in the US are the richest in the entire world. The baby boomers in the US have had it easier than any generation. They had 30 years of building these 401ks where basically you could just put money in and it's all going to skyrocket. They had 30 years before we got into 9/11 in the last couple decades that we've seen where they had major peace. In the 80s and 90s were very, very peaceful. I mean, they basically almost had 3 straight decades of not much happening like we're seeing today, right? We just came out of a global pandemic. There's a war and there's nuclear, fears. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now. Like millennials and Gen Z having a whole heck of a lot harder than the boomers. And because of all this borrowing that boomers have done, we're going to catch that burden down the road. That's not the point. The point is these guys this winter, these gals this winter. Oh, sorry about that. This winter, the baby boomers have all the money to make the moves that they want to make. If they want to downsize, if they want to move, if they want to upsize, if they want one floor living, they're the ones with the money. That's where the transactions are going to come out of. It's the baby boomers. So I'd pay attention to them. And anybody on Social Security is getting even more money. It just seems like money just attracts to the boomers. They just get all the money, and that means they can do all the real estate deals.
All right. Last one CNBC. 22% of millennials are going into debt from dating. Everything is getting more expensive.
So on the flip side, millennials, pay attention to what the boomers have done. They've saved well, they've accumulated assets. And if you're going to go into debt, because of peer pressure on dating, I mean, you are really making a big mistake right now. I actually saw a TikTok the other day and the girl's like, you know that phrase gold digger, Nicole?
Yes, I do.
She said, hey, I'm not a gold digger, but you took me to Applebee's on my first date and I want to let you know that this is unacceptable, that I'm not going to be going to Applebee's,
Oh,
if we're going to go on a second date.
sounds like something you'd say.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go to Applebee's either.
No
So
way. You're a
I
little
was in
bougie.
alignment with her, but if you're trying to keep up with everybody, this is a bad time to do it. This is not the time to try to keep up with everybody, whether you're male or female. I don't care who's paying the bill. And even if you're just dating and you're splitting the bill, I'd advise you guys to maybe cook in, maybe do some things like that. Because listen, the people that save the money and are able to invest in real assets over the next year and a half, they're going to be the ones that in 10 years are just only saying one thing. I wish I invested more. I wish I bought more. I wish I saved more. They're not going to be saying, I wish I went to more restaurants that were better than Applebee's.
Right.
I wish I went on more dates. And there is a huge social media peer pressure around dating. I'm glad I'm not in the dating pool like yourself, Nicole, because the pressure to spend money and impress people, I've seen it happen over and over again the last couple of years, is going to restrict you from buying a house. So if you're an agent, maybe you can maybe you can help people date. Maybe you can have some dating parties at your office, right? Maybe we could do that, Nicole, at the Connecticut office. Have a
I
dating
want no part of
party.
that. No
I feel
part.
like nobody dates in the shoreline in Connecticut. Everybody's already locked up. But
Locked up. I don't think
um,
everyone's locked up, but I definitely you want to be a part of that awkwardness? Like you want to like welcome awkward?
what
What?
what's your thoughts on this? People going into debt for dating?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I mean,
I
does
mean,
that seem insane to you?
it's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
And it's funny because like again, I agree with her as well, but it's funny because I think in my early 20s it didn't even, I guess, didn't phase me where we were going. So
because you were young, but now people are dating older,
yeah, I
right?
guess.
And
Yeah.
so these are home buying ages. And overall, the survey respondents, which was a Lending Tree survey, said that they spent about $91 on a night out, which by the way seems cheap.
Super cheap.
So maybe they're doing something right. But listen, you can go get pho. Me and you just went and had a couple of bowls of pho before I
Yeah.
left Connecticut. I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't more than 40, $50. So,
Yeah. But
and
again, everything
that's
is.
fantastic.
But honestly though, I mean, you can go over to Olive Garden and spend the same amount of money as well. So, I don't even know that you're really even saving money by going to an Olive Garden or an Applebee's either anymore. So,
This
um
mindset, I'm a millennial, and this mindset of I just want to have these experiences. I just want to
experiences,
live.
yeah. Well, the amount of people that take these trips, I
Listen,
mean, there's so many trips and
y-
jet setting and
you're
palm
gonna you're
trees.
gonna
I
end up
mean,
45 years old one day, and you're gonna look back in regret, as opposed to looking back and saying, I wish I just bought more real estate. I wish I built more assets up. So
yeah,
if I'm an agent, I'm encouraging this younger generation, millennials, Gen Z, to go and buy some deals with their money instead of dinners. And the more people you can help do that, the more people you're going to impact, not just for your own needs, but to live a greater life. So I would encourage you
absolutely.
to do that.